What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction. In this one, we have Chinese warships. Why Australia is worried. Before we dive into this video, if you guys happen to enjoy, please don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Give the video a thumbs up. And let's see. I reacted to a video like a week ago about these Chinese warships. Is they still hanging around? They still hang?
The government is warning Chinese warships lurking off the Australian coast could be planning on sailing all the way around Australia. So just how worried should we be about China's show of military might?
Yeah, why y'all sailing all the way around Australia? Which I don't like it. They testing, they trying to see a reaction. China just trying to flex a little bit.
I think you are engaging in politicisation of this event for your own political purposes. And I think people can see that.
I think people can see that this has been shambolic handling of this issue over the last couple of days. Utterly shambolic.
6 days after 3 Chinese warships conducted live firing drills off the coast of Australia, forcing planes to divert mid-flight, today another Senate grilling about who knew what when.
Do you have a question?
I have many.
The grilling came after revelations from our military that Australia only found out China was unleashing live rounds in the Tasman Sea after the fact from a Virgin Airlines pilot.
Is it the case that Defence was only notified via Virgin and Air Services Australia 28 minutes after the firing window commenced?
Yes.
New Zealand's military...
That don't sound good. It's like if they in Australian waters, I feel like Australia should be notified of them firing weapons so Australia doesn't take it the wrong way. But for the first one to know that they're firing is the pilot of a Virgin Airlines aircraft, and not the military, not the government. Nah, Australia ain't let nobody in, or China ain't let nobody in Australia know. Yeah, I got some questions myself.
Taking some 90 minutes to relay the same message to the ADF, contradicting the PM's version that notice was given.
There was notice given.
We
have made it clear that we think more notice should have been given.
And that Australia received civilian and military alerts
At around the same time.
That's not true.
The Prime Minister is either making this up, shooting from the hip, or completely out of his depth, or maybe all three.
We have been very clear that China is going to keep being China, just as Mr Dutton isn't going to stop being Mr Dutton. The man who once said it was inconceivable we wouldn't go to war is going to keep beating the drums of war.
The Chinese warships are currently lurking 500 kilometres west of Hobart, the border of Australia.
So Albanese got up and lied after that and said they did give notice when they didn't give notice. Ooh, I don't like it. I just don't like that China think they can do all this.
Australia's exclusive economic zone. Australian defence officials not ruling out that a Chinese nuclear-powered sub might also be lurking in the depths, gathering intelligence.
We don't know whether there is the presence of a submarine, and that in part speaks to the nature of submarines.
The unknown ringing alarm bells for some.
I don't understand why we don't have missiles all up the top and around Australia, so work that one out.
So what do China's war games say about Australia's readiness for
I'm
war?
trying to work it out. And I don't know if it's something that can be worked out. I don't know what's going on. But I think a message needs to be sent. A chat needs to be had.
I'm telling you right now, if we were to be attacked, we're buggered. We're absolutely stuffed.
Well, Jennifer Parker is a maritime security expert and has been watching all of this drama unfold. Jennifer, we just heard from Jackie Lambie there. She said that if we get attacked, we could be absolutely stuffed. Is she right?
Hey, look, thanks for having me on. It certainly has been a lot of drama. Look, I wouldn't use the term we're stuffed, although I appreciate Senator Lambie loves the colourful words. But she's right to say that we have an issue in terms of our defence capability, right? And this comes from the fact that for decades we have underinvested in defence.
Yeah.
At the moment, we're spending about 2% of GDP on defence. Throughout the Cold War, we averaged about 2.7%. And what that means, given that underinvestment, is we just don't have the capabilities that we need. Now, the government did announce last year an increase in defence spending, and we expect to get to about 2.4% by the end of the decade. But even then, the spending just doesn't match our strategic circumstances.
She did also say
I
that
just feel
we're
like a lot of countries in NATO, I feel like, end up depending on the U.S. military to in any situations. I mean, which the U.S. military is in NATO and has made agreements with all these other countries. So rightfully so, if anything should happen, U.S. should come to aid because a lot of these countries give a lot. I feel like do a lot for the U.S. But yeah, a lot of these countries don't really invest that heavily into militaries because really there's no need. Um, they're in a partnership with the strongest military on earth. So if anything happened to you, they coming immediately.
buggered. If we're not stuffed, would you say we're buggered?
No, I wouldn't say we're buggered either, but I would say that we do need to respond to the current strategic situation, which means we really do need to consider our investment in defence.
I have no more questions.
Jennifer, I have a few more words for you. Is it concerning or worrying or maybe even embarrassing that we found out about this incident after the fact from a commercial pilot?
But I actually don't think it's embarrassing. I do think that we have very much over dramatised this incident. First thing is, warships conduct gunnery serials all the time. I've conducted many in my life. Second thing
Okay.
is, these warships are actually 340 nautical miles from Australia. That is the distance between Canberra and Melbourne. So they were nowhere near our waters when they conducted this.
Okay.
The normal procedure is that you go on international aeronautical distress and you let aircraft in the area know that you intend to conduct a gunnery serial. Now, it looks like
Okay.
China didn't do that early enough, and that's certainly
Oh.
something we should raise with them.
China didn't give notice, but they weren't in Australia while they were very far away from the country of Australia and doing this. So should it really be seen as a threat? I don't know. To me, it still feel like China's still testing Australia in a way, but maybe not as bad as I initially thought.
But it is normal that an aircraft would be the first to find out, given how far they were from anybody's coast.
So just joining the dots with what you say, you're saying there's an underspending in defence. The concern over China's activity here, I think, comes against a background of China having a more aggressive posture towards Australia and perhaps in the Pacific more generally. I guess the question all that raises for me is, if they really did want to try this on, if they really did want to do something aggressive in our waters, do we have the ability to stop them?
We experienced economic coercion from China over recent years as part of their aggressive posture. It's not a huge step up to say that in the event of a crisis, that they could interfere with our maritime trade, interdict that shipping. And when we think about the fact that 99% of our trade comes through the maritime domain, like we import 91% of our fuel. Jackie Lambie would be right to say that if somebody interdicted that, we would be stuffed. I think we need to not over-dramatise what's happened in the last 2 weeks, but we do need to take it as a warning of the fact that for the first time in a very long time, we have a country that we have a number of disagreements with, predominantly because of their aggression towards countries like the Philippines, towards the Taiwan, the unsafe and unprofessional behaviour putting our ADF women and men at risk in the South China Sea. The first time we have a country
Don't
like that...
forget about them shooting them flares in the aircraft, shooting them flares right in front of Australia. Pockets.
...can reach our region in a very long time. And that is why we do need to bolster our defences.
Jennifer, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me on.
I would love to hear what y'all think about these situations that's happened in the past 2 weeks with China. And then what do you guys think about the underinvestment into military? Like she was saying, do you guys think need to invest more in the military? And yeah, that's all we got. Just let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If you enjoyed, don't forget to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, check out the next one. I'll see you guys next time.